Tonight,
Enough is enough.
the Premier will ban speed cameras in coming weeks.
We've seen municipalities across the province use municipal speed cameras as nothing more than a cash grab.
Plan to introduce legislation that will force the City of Ottawa to turn off all 60 of its photo radar cameras. The end of an era for Canada Post.
Instead of improving the service, they're going to cut the service, so there's going to be nothing left of it.
The government okays doing away with door-to-door mail delivery. Lower volume means other changes on the way too. And just a year after investing millions into work done at a plant in Maitland,
We're 1,000 acres. There's no reason why companies should not be coming here.
Invista announces plans to close, throwing at least 100 people out of work in the eastern Ontario town.
People are fed up. They're tired of getting tickets for 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers over.
Speed cameras across the province are about to go dark. The Premier following through on his promise to ban photo radar. Good evening. It's a massive change to speed enforcement here in Ottawa and across the province. The city will soon be forced to turn off its dozens of photo radar cameras, with the Ford government set to introduce a new law to get rid of them. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us now with more on this. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, picture this. Ottawa's speed cameras have issued more than 1 million tickets since being installed, generating tens of millions of dollars. But with the program possibly ending, well, the mayor calls it disappointing, while others ask, what's the real cost of safety? The debate over speed cameras
They do the job and slow the traffic. They're getting a little ridiculous.
has now hit a flashpoint.
Enough's enough.
On Thursday, Premier Doug Ford announcing a plan to ban speed cameras with a proposed new bill expected next month.
To protect taxpayers and drivers and stop them from being gouged. Instead of punishing people retroactively with speeding tickets days or weeks after the fact, we're supporting practical, proactive traffic calming measures.
If the law passes, all automated speed enforcement cameras across Ontario would shutter immediately. Some cheering the move.
They don't need to be making money off us speeding.
But not all safety experts are in the same lane.
The tax grab piece is people need to slow down. If you don't want to get a ticket, don't speed.
Instead of speed cameras, Ford wants to see and fund new safety measures like large flashing signs outside of school zones.
I think that's a good idea. I think it'll get people's attention better than having the speed cameras up.
But the province won't pay to pull out the cameras, a program it once approved of and even expanded back in 2019.
Premier Ford seems to be, wants to be mayor of all the cities, and I don't know, I think this is something that should be handled at the city level.
I'm disappointed.
Currently, Ottawa has 60 photo radar cameras and in the last 5 years has generated around $80 million to support road safety initiatives.
Especially in school zones, there is a concern about speeding. I thought there was a way forward where we could improve the program rather than scrap the program.
So when it comes to the cameras, it's easy to say.
They're putting them in too many places.
But some believe.
The solution is don't speed.
Because without cameras capturing speeders,
Then how do you police it?
Ottawa's police chief has noted cameras do work and can help free up officers to focus on other priorities. And right now, the city is spending nearly $2 million on installing 24 new cameras this fall, but if they are banned, the province says it will help to cover costs to cancel the contract. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen right now to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the province's pledge to ban speed cameras, the reaction to the news right here in Ottawa. We have breaking news right now. Canada Post workers are on a nationwide strike. According to the union representing employees just moments ago, they say it's in response to the government's proposed sweeping changes to the way Canada Post delivers mail. Today, the federal government paving the way for major change, including ending door-to-door delivery, as the Crown Corporation continues to leak money, posting massive losses this past year. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us now with more on those changes. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, things are developing quickly tonight, but it appears Canada Post workers will not be on the job tomorrow. tomorrow. They're calling the government's changes an attack on postal services and workers. But the government says Canada Post is insolvent and the way it delivers mail needs to be adjusted. So let's take a look at some of the changes. Door-to-door delivery will end for virtually all Canadian households within the next decade. That means 4 million Canadians will see their service switch to a community mailbox model. This change is expected to save $400 million a year. It also means that overall it will take longer for mail to be delivered. Instead of a letter being delivered within 3 to 4 days, it will now take 3 to 7 days, and some post offices will be closing for good. The government says Canada Post is bleeding money, losing about $10 million a day, and it's on track to lose close to $1.5 billion more this year. It's facing an existential crisis from fewer letters being delivered and competition from parcel delivery services. Public Works and Procurement Minister Joel Lightbound says the changes are an effort to make the Crown Corporation financially viable.
In addition to the measures I'm announcing today, the corporation must adapt. I'm asking Canada Post to take immediate steps to address its financial challenges. That means finding efficiencies, reducing costs, reducing overhead, and I want to be clear, that also means reviewing and lightening its management structure.
Now, the news is sparking a ton of reaction. Here's what some of Ottawa residents had to say about the government's new plan for Canada Post.
To me, yeah, it doesn't affect me. I'm sure other people maybe more, but me personally, no.
I think that's inconvenient if I want to receive my postage efficiently.
It doesn't have to be every day. I know the cost is so high, but Canada Post, they should have tried better service in the past. They could have did more business.
I think it's kind of crazy. We've got bills to pay. They have to be paid on time.
Like, doesn't make a difference to me. But, yeah. But okay. If you're waiting for, a monthly payment or a check or something, then that does make a big difference.
Well, again, the changes are expected to take some time. Switching to community mailboxes could take 3 to 4 years, but up to 9 years in some areas. And again, the union is pushing back on the plan, which comes as it's in the midst of contract negotiations. The union says Canada Post workers are on strike, effective immediately. Patricia.
A developing story. All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it is another blow to Eastern Ontario's manufacturing industry. The Invista plant in Maitland set to shut down after decades and shift production to the U.S. The move will impact the entire community and results in at least 100 job losses. The plant manufactures chemicals and polymers used in everyday products. It's located about 10 minutes outside of Brockville. CTV's Dylan Dyson spent the day in the community.
At Amazing Photography, owner Ashton Mays says the closure of the Invista plant in Maitland, just 10 minutes down the road from her studio, is the talk of the town.
It's very unfortunate. I think it's really negatively impacted a lot of the residents in the area who, of course, rely on that for their livelihoods.
On Tuesday, Invista announced plans to discontinue work at the site and move production to Texas. The plant has been operating in Maitland for more than 70 years and currently employs 100 people.
I was devastated then. You might say I was surprised, but not surprised. I knew this day would come somehow, but I didn't expect it so soon.
In a statement, Invista's president and CEO says this decision is not a reflection of the employees' efforts, but rather a reality of today's market environment. Augusta Township's mayor says the village of Maitland was formed around the plant in the 50s, with more than half of the current workforce living within a 10-minute drive.
The whole area will be affected somehow, either, in retailers or whatever. So, because the people being laid off are going to be not spending a whole lot of money in the next little while.
Mays can't picture the community without the plant.
So it's a staple in our community. Of course, a lot of the neighboring communities are employed by that facility. So it is a staple. Yeah, we see it every time we drive up and down the highway.
The township now scrambling to find new jobs to bring into the community. The shutdown is expected to begin over the coming months.
I'm looking at the provincial and the federal government for bringing in new business to this industrial park to allow more jobs. Like I said, we have over 1,000 acres. There's no reason why companies should not be coming here.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Maitland.
Still ahead, what's her secret? She was born during the tail end of the First World War and today celebrates her 107th birthday. That story coming up.
Well, here's a live look through our Centennial glass sky cam. A little cooler than we were at this time last night. 17 degrees out there right now. Somewhat gray skies. We saw quite a bit of rain earlier today. Jackie out in Westport as we wrap up our week there. How was the weather in Westport tonight, Jackie?
Very similar conditions, Patricia, as it is in Ottawa, where you see a lot of overcast, but what's really breathtaking is how calm the lake is, how beautiful the fall colors are popping as well, and despite the overcast skies. So here it's about 18 degrees, but with the humidity feeling more like 24. When we look towards Ottawa, very similar conditions as well, feeling more like 22 when we factor in the humidity. Really around Eastern Ontario, temperatures are sitting between 16 and 18 degrees. And this will carry on as when the sun sets and getting into the evening. 17 is what we're expecting. There is still a slight chance that we could see some showers moving through the later portion of this evening, but it's going to move fairly quickly. And then tomorrow, we're going to start off with some really sunny skies, 15 degrees. And then in the afternoon, we could likely see a chance of showers moving through, but it isn't expected to last long because the weekend, which I'm excited to say, is going to be nothing but sunshine and temperatures sitting in the mid-20s. We'll have these details and plus more from here in Westport, Ontario. But for now, we're going to take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
Well, one person is dead after a serious crash in the Fallowfield area this afternoon. It happened at the intersection of Fallowfield and Eagleson Roads around 1 p.m. Police say the crash involved a dump truck and another vehicle. One man was pronounced dead at the scene. Another was brought to the trauma center. A third person was also assessed at the scene. There are still road closures in the area this evening as police continue to investigate the cause of the crash. An SUV that crashed into Dow's Lake Monday night has now been removed from the water. There you go, a crane lifting the vehicle from the lake this morning before placing it onto a flatbed truck. The driver of the vehicle was able to safely get to shore before the vehicle sank Monday. The RCMP is leading the investigation but has provided no details about what happened. An Ottawa bylaw employee is facing a $615 fine after being stopped for distracted driving. Ontario Provincial Police posting this photo on social media today, saying an officer stopped the bylaw vehicle on Highway 417 because the driver was apparently using their cell phone while driving. Ottawa Bylaw Services says employees are responsible for paying tickets issued to them under the Highway Traffic Act. Ottawa's plan to build a transit corridor along Saint Laurent Boulevard will require the city to acquire some properties. The plan would see 5.2 kilometers of Saint Laurent Boulevard between Hemlock Road and Innes Road redeveloped with bus-only lanes, bike lanes, improved sidewalks, crosswalks, and a multi-use pathway. A new report shows this would affect 79 properties by encroaching on yards, signs, and parking areas. 8 would require full acquisition. The price tag for the project is $260 million. The report does not say when construction would begin. Well, just weeks ahead of the fall federal budget, the Parliamentary Budget Officer is projecting the federal government's annual deficit will balloon to $68.5 billion this year. CTV's Abigail Beeman digs deeper into the implications and what this could mean for Canadians.
The Parliamentary Budget Officer briefs a committee of MPs on his new economic and fiscal outlook.
I think everybody should be concerned. It's a really serious day.
The report projects a sharp hike to the annual deficit from $51.7 billion last year to $68.5 billion this year.
All of which will add to the cost of living for Canadians. Why is it how is it possible that any prime minister could have been more expensive than Trudeau?
A large part of that is in response to what has happened, not by choice, but we had to be there for workers. If you're in the auto sector, the steel industry, in the forestry industry, you expect your government to be there.
The report includes $115 billion in announced new spending, but notably does not include the Prime Minister's commitment to hit the NATO target of 5% of defense spending by 2035, or any of the government's spending review that's expected to hit 15% in cuts by 2029.
I think the government is in a bind right now trying to deal with this trade war and the effects on the economy.
Still so many question marks around both spending and cuts unaccounted for in this update, with the budget and potential answers still 6 weeks away. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, 100th birthday is huge, and each and every one after even bigger. So how about turning 107 years old, as a Barrhaven resident has done? Marian Anderson was surrounded by loved ones as she rang in her special day. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reports.
For 107-year-old Marian Anderson, this special birthday feels like any other day.
I hadn't planned such a tremendous crowd to be here. I thought we'd just get through it like every other day.
Anderson, born in September 1918.
Starting to grow up there.
A mother of 3 boys, she raised her family in the nation's capital.
Just growing up and having friends and having fun. Eventually marrying somebody that lived with me for almost 70 years.
And there's a reason she doesn't look her age.
You don't put soap on your face. It makes wrinkles.
I think, like she said, maybe just living a simple life, not getting too ahead of yourself, a little sherry every day.
Anderson has lived through moments of history.
Remember the wars. One finished and then another one started. And I was quite able to understand everything about the Second World War, because I was a young woman then, a teenager.
Throughout her life, Anderson loved camping, traveling, working as a hairdresser, and spending time with her family. She was a talented quilt maker and in the 90s won Best Quilt of the Show at the Carp Fair.
It was a little bit above special. Oh no, I made literally hundreds of quilts, and I made for the babies at the hospital.
Good years of health and happiness, signed Mark Sutcliffe and David.
For her, the greatest gift, to be surrounded by her loved ones on her special day. Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.
And the reason we want to do testing in a fish is we want to do testing in vivo, in a live animal model.
Well, coming up, we'll tell you about research at CHEO helping guide therapies for children with cancer. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Hanging out with Jim and Iris, new residents. Actually, they've been a year here in Westport. Jim, what inspired the move from the Muskoka area?
Well, we were verging on retiring in Muskoka and decided we needed a new challenge in life. And we found out about the watercolor development in Westport area, and it seemed to fit with what we wanted, and so we moved here.
All right, and Iris, very quickly, what do you like to do in your downtime here?
I like to take my dog for a walk and
enjoy the trails.
Yeah, enjoy the trails.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, we'll be hanging around here in the Westport community, specifically the watercolor subdivision. But for now, here's a live look. There are Centennial glass sky cam showcasing Kaweki Point, 17 degrees.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville. Bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barrhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe. Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville. From the team you trust, we are CTV News, Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News, Ottawa.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Every Thursday, we want to put the spotlight on 3 good things happening in our city. We begin with a popular fall event for many, the Carp Fair, kicking off today at the Carp Agricultural Fairgrounds. The annual event is one of the largest agricultural fairs in the region and has been a fall tradition in the area since 1863. There's a lot to take in, from animal exhibits to a demolition derby, live music, and of course, the Midway. The fair is running straight through the weekend until Sunday evening. You can visit the fair website for a full schedule.
Really amazing to see this exhibit come together and really showcasing the culture of Sanikiluaq, the unique islands, and all the innovation that's come from the Inuit leadership in the community.
A better understanding of life on the islands for Inuit, and to understand that we live off the land and our food is there, we harvest it.
A new Inuit-led exhibition is opening to the public tomorrow at the Canadian Museum of Nature. It transports visitors to the Belcher Islands, a unique archipelago in Hudson Bay. The exhibit explores how Inuit from the islands are combining traditional knowledge and modern technology. It will be on view at the museum until September 2027.
As he continued, Tabla inside, Antonoro into the back of the net.
Well, there's still time to take in some fantastic fall soccer this weekend on home turf. Atletico Ottawa hosts Calgary FC at TD Place on Saturday. It's at 1 p.m. The game is honoring the upcoming National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It's in support of the local nonprofit Ottawa Native Friendship Centre. There are only 2 Atletico home games left at TD Place this regular season before playoffs. And the Ottawa Rapid are also in action at TD Place tomorrow night against FC Toronto. Game time is 7 p.m. Well, do you have a story for us to include in our 3 Good Things segment? Something light, happy, a community event, or notable achievement to brighten the day? Send your ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Well, new international research at CHEO reveals that tropical fish can help guide personalized therapies for some of the most challenging, high-risk pediatric cancer cases. CTV's Peter Sperling has the details.
Sarah Telford is a childhood cancer survivor.
It was terrifying.
At age 11, she was diagnosed with AML, acute myeloid leukemia, a form of blood cancer.
Once I heard the C word, I knew I was in for a fight.
Now at 27, she's reflecting on her treatment, multiple rounds of chemo, making her very sick.
As well as there are a lot of long-term effects that people don't think about when they think of cancer treatment. For instance, due to treatment, I am now in a wheelchair. And maybe I wouldn't be if this had been around.
What Telford is referring to are zebrafish. New research by the CHEO Research Institute and University of Ottawa show that small tropical fish can help guide therapies for kids with high-risk cancer.
We want to personalize and tailor that therapy to that specific child's tumor. So the best way to do that is to take a piece of that tumor and do testing. And the reason we want to do testing in a fish is we want to do testing in vivo, in a live animal model that more closely resembles what kind of response we anticipate will happen in the patient.
So that's a zebrafish larvae.
Dr. Jason Berman, the study's senior author, says this research offers patients and families more hope.
And so using this more personalized approach, we're trying to find drugs that more specifically target that specific cancer so that we have higher cure rates and fewer side effects.
A patient's cancer cells are put into the fish to test medications and drugs.
And with the zebrafish, we're able to put these cells in, watch how they behave because they're fluorescently labeled and the zebrafish are transparent, add treatments just to the water, and able to see those responses in 7 to 10 days.
A hope for future patients.
The future with this treatment is so bright.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Well, the stretch of sunny weather came to an end today. A rainy day over at Majors Hill Park and right across the capital. But the good news is nothing but sunshine in the forecast for the next several days. We're just going to start up another streak. Won't let this slow us down. Jackie is in Westport for us tonight with a full look at the forecast. Jackie.
Yeah, Patricia, I mean, we did start off with a rainy start, but the good news is it's kind of teetered off. There is a little bit of a light drizzle later this afternoon, but for the most part, yeah, there's still a slight chance we could see some showers pop up throughout the evening. But by the time we get to tomorrow, we are looking forward to more sunshine. So taking a look now at temperatures right now, it's about 17 degrees with the humidex levels about 22. Still a chance, as mentioned, that we could see showers. We saw a daytime high of 19 degrees. And then overnight, not getting much cooler, about 15 degrees for our overnight low, mainly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, the daytime high is going to be 23 degrees. And while we will start off with some mainly sunny conditions in the morning, late afternoon, we might see some showers pop through, but it's not going to last very long. It should clear out by later Friday evening. As we look at tonight's lows throughout Eastern Ontario, it's about 12, 13 degrees around Pembroke as well as Petawawa, 16 along the Seaway, 13 in Gatineau, about 14 in Mont Tremblant. Cloudy conditions as well will maintain for the overnight. By the time we get to tomorrow's highs, pretty much most of Eastern Ontario will see a likeliness of some showers rolling through, but down by Kingston, it's only going to be a mix of sun and cloud as well. 23 degrees really throughout the region. So we're looking at really nice conditions in terms of temperature, summer-like conditions, if you will, and above seasonal. When we look across the country, cool conditions throughout Atlantic Canada, 17 in Fredericton and Halifax, and some cloudy skies as well. Towards Ontario, still getting a lot of that warmth coming in from the States. We've got 22 in Sudbury, 22 in Toronto, and 21 in Windsor. And then as we look towards the prairies, yeah, they're getting a little bit of that heat action as well. 23 in Calgary and Sunshine, 21 in Regina and Vancouver, mostly cloudy skies. 16 degrees is the temperature with our friends in Vancouver. As we look towards the next few days this evening, mostly cloudy skies for most of the region. Ottawa could see a little bit more of a partly cloudy skies, but then as we get towards Saturday, there is a chance that we could see some rain popping up through the Kingston-Brockville area, but it's going to move very quickly because we are expecting mainly sunny skies. Even by Sunday, we're going to get much sunnier conditions as well. So this is the good news. We're going to have a stretch of some sunshine, and this 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business, is showing us just that. So Friday, yeah, chance of showers that could run through, but shouldn't deter you from going out to the Rapid FC game. 23 degrees is the daytime high, 23 for our Saturday. And then as we look towards Sunday and Monday, those will be the warmest days of the week, 25 degrees, the daytime high. So lots of sunshine on the way. So if you weren't so happy about the rain or the cloudy skies for this week, just buckle up and wait for at least 48 hours. We're in it for the sunshine. Patricia.
And as those temperatures start to taper off, the leaves are only going to get more vibrant. So it'll all balance it out. Thanks, Jackie. Well, coming up, we'll share the story of how these 19 abandoned kittens ended up at the Ottawa Humane Society.
Tonight, a Canadian father shot dead in Wisconsin.
It's the worst phone call I've ever had, yeah. It brought me to my knees.
A family broken apart and the tragic chain of events during a golf trip. Later on CTV National News, right after tonight's NFL game.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. The Ottawa Humane Society is now caring for 19 kittens after they were found abandoned in a box. Someone found the adorable kittens in a box in Riverview Park near the Ottawa Hospital General Campus Tuesday night. Some are healthy, others are sick, receiving some veterinary care. They were among 42 cats admitted to the Humane Society that day alone. Well, Porter Airlines is delaying the takeoff of flights between Ottawa and Fort McMurray in Alberta. The airline was set to launch the direct service in November, but says it's making adjustments to concentrate on winter flights to warm weather destinations. The service is now set to begin in the spring. Today is Franco-Ontarian Day, a celebration of the Francophone community and culture across this province. The green and white Franco-Ontarian flag was raised at City Hall this morning in a special ceremony in honor of the flag's 50th anniversary. The Ottawa sign in the Byward Market will also be lit up in green and white to mark the day and milestone anniversary. Well, here's a look at what will be open and closed on the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation on Tuesday. Schools will be open. All stores, malls, and grocery stores are allowed to open. Service Canada offices will be closed. Libraries will be open across the city with special programming. Garbage collection will be on a regular schedule. City service centers will be closed, and OC Transpo will be on a regular schedule. We want to go back out to Westport now, where Jackie's getting a look at some gorgeous homes out there. Jackie?
Thanks so much, Patricia. Yeah, this is part of the phase 1 of the watercolor Westport community subdivision, and we've had a chance to tour the home. It's lovely, but I also want to introduce one of the residents. You've been a year here, David Brown, moving from Ottawa to Westport in the last year. How has the year been for you?
It's been a great year. It's certainly all the reasons why I moved here are evident. I've been able to enjoy them. Plus, there's things that I didn't quite expect that I'm also able to enjoy.
What did you expect from here? I mean, we talked a little bit about the lakes that you love, but how close everything is and within 15-minute walk.
Yeah, so I also realized that I should have looked a little bit more than just 15 minutes. There's a lot of great things that are, maybe half an hour away, and even just enjoying, other communities in the general region that I hadn't before living in Ottawa.
Wow. And for you, a lot of people here, this Westport is considered a summer town, a summer village. But for you, this is year-round.
Yeah, I get to enjoy it. I get to enjoy it all the time, whether there be snow on the ground or whether it be, a beautiful summer day out on the water.
All right, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I am going to move on to Stephen Ralston here. You are the visionary behind the Westport watercolor community. Just talk to us about the homes. Phase 1, phase 2 is underway, and then soon phase 3.
Correct. And the whole idea here is helping people reduce or eliminate their carbon footprint, because we are building net zero ready homes. That means just the way they are, they reduce a person's carbon footprint 12-fold. Because they're designed, modeled, constructed, certified, and verified to reduce a person's carbon footprint by the addition of solar panels if they want, but just the way they are, because the Ontario energy grid is so clean, from carbon to no carbon, 12-fold reduction in your carbon footprint.
Wow, that's good to know. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time. And we are hanging out here in the watercolor subdivision and community to learn more about not just the people, but the community and just that connectivity between neighbor and nature. But for now, we're going to take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thanks so much.
What happens to the RRSP? Maybe there's a better vessel to put that in so that it does pass on to your kids or who you'd like it to pass to.
Well, coming up, RRSPs are used by many Canadians to help save for retirement, but one family was shocked when their parents died in the same year, and they had a tax bill of over $600,000.
Dream big with Move 100. Now, dream $20,000 bigger. Starting next week, listen for your chance to win $20,000. Dream big, win bigger with Ottawa's Move 100.
This is your United Way Minute.
I have 3 boys, 12, 9, and 4 years old. 2 that have some disabilities such as ADHD, Tourette syndrome, hypersensitivities.
The portable sensory space was an idea we had because we don't have a permanent location for a space. With support from the United Way, we're able to purchase more things and take our show on the road, and then set up at any community event where there might be a lot of people and families could use a break.
I'm actually able to go to some community events with my kids. When they know that this portable space is there, they know that they can enjoy a little bit of the activities and then recenter, calm down, and then go enjoy it again. Ottawa is really small. We have a hard time having access to so many resources. When we get the support from the community, it's precious.
Help improve community inclusivity and the quality of life for local military families and veterans. Donate today at unitedwayeo.ca or call 613-228-6700.
Registered Retirement Savings Plans, or RRSPs, are used by many Canadian families to save for their retirement. An Ontario husband and wife saved throughout their lives in RRSPs with thoughts of leaving the money to their children. But when they both died in the same year, the family was shocked to get a final tax bill of more than $600,000. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
Last year was a difficult time for Ashley Galley and her Burlington family. Her mother, Jackie, who worked as a nurse, died in January at 62 years old. And in December, her father, Michael, who worked in business, passed suddenly at 63. The couple were high school sweethearts.
We think that my dad passed away of a broken heart.
Gallia describes her parents as hard workers who saved to buy a cottage in 1998 and always put money away in their RRSPs for their retirement. 5 years ago, they sold their home and made the cottage their principal residence. When they both died last year, Gallia's mother's RRSP rolled into her father's for a total of $715,000. When her father died, the RSP had to be taxed as income at about 50%, and there was capital gains on the cottage. The family had a tax bill of $659,000.
It made me more angry than anything. We've just lost both of our parents inside of 11 months.
Gallia says to avoid selling the cottage, almost the entire amount of RSPs her parents saved had to go to pay the tax bill. She says she and her brother expected some of the funds and were shocked almost nothing was left over.
What happens to the RSP? Maybe there's a better vessel to put that in so that it does pass on to your kids or who you'd like it to pass to.
If you want to do some retirement income planning for tax efficiency, at least by the age of 55 or 60.
Tax expert Evelyn Jack says families should adopt a strategy to reduce the amount of tax they pay, use life insurance, and get advice from a professional to avoid a massive tax bill when a loved one passes.
Take a tax hit earlier on so they can avoid a top marginal tax rate at death. And in the process, put that money into more tax efficient vehicles, for example, a TFSA.
Gallia says she's still grieving the loss of her parents, but wanted to share what happened to her family to help others.
Other people learn that maybe RRSPs aren't the best option for them, then at least I've done something to be helpful or beneficial, and I think my parents would be proud of me for that.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, coming up, a coffee giant set to close hundreds of locations and lay off workers. We'll have the details from the BNN Bloomberg newsroom.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Almost the last weekend in September, and time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
This weekend, we continue fair season with the Carp Fair, a.k.a. the best little fair in Canada. This features all the faves like the heavy horse pull and agricultural shows, the Black Creek Rodeo, a gigantic midway, and even live entertainment from Tyler, Joe Miller, Little Bones, and more. This is all weekend long at the Carp Agricultural Society. Tickets start at just $15, and kids 6 and under get in for free. Next on today's list is the Ottawa Cat Show. If you are a cat lover or even like cats a little bit and want to learn more about them, this is your chance to check out 2 days of everything cat-related that you could possibly imagine. From pet care to guest speakers and even a cat costume contest. Definitely going to be a lot of fun to check out. This is at the Nepean Sportsplex Saturday and Sunday. And don't forget to bring a donation of cat food for local rescues. And last today is the Mammoth Book Sale, hosted by the Friends of the Ottawa Public Library Association. This one features hundreds of used books, CDs, DVDs, and vinyl records for sale, plus board games, children's books, and lots more. It's Saturday only from 10 to 2 at the James Bartleman Center. As usual, lots more to do this weekend around the capital. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, Starbucks is cutting jobs and closing some stores across North America as it works through a $1 billion restructure. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
The coffee chain will close an estimated 400 locations it says are underperforming. 900 jobs are also being cut. This is the second round of layoffs for Starbucks. A new CEO is trying to turn things around for the coffee chain, which has reported slowing sales in the U.S. for the last 6 quarters. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.73. West Texas Intermediate is up to 65.20. Western Canadian Select is up $1.48 to 53.18. And the TSX dropped by 24 points today to 29,731. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Good morning, Canada. Time to kick.
Well, coming up, FIFA unveils the 3 official mascots for next year's World Cup, one for each host country, Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. We are hanging out at Westport, a rich, vibrant community. And here specifically, the Westport community, or the watercolor community, is up and coming. Kevin Rankin, you are part of the Watercolor Westport community and homes. Just talk to us about this subdivision that you have an opportunity for people to come and visit this weekend.
That's right. Patricia, this weekend, it's open to the public. Our brand new park overlooking this historic village. It's an incredible opportunity to enjoy the fall colors and to discover why 65 families have already decided to call this home, living here and experiencing their better life now.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And speaking of that hilltop park view, just over our shoulder here is what Kevin is referring to. And speaking of wonderful views, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We're looking at downtown Ottawa.
Tomorrow on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa, we are checking out this week's new movies with Matt Demir's Mr. Hollywood, including the latest from director Paul Thomas Anderson. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa, starting at 6.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Hell's Kitchen, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, and The Amazing Race. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
I think the Canadians and postal workers have an opportunity here to say this isn't going to happen, and the government's wrong on this.
Canada Post workers are on strike. The union says the job action is nationwide and is in response to the government's big changes announced today, including the plan to phase out door-to-door delivery.
If you don't know where that speed camera is, you're zipping by. But if you have a speed bump, you aren't zipping by at all.
The city will soon be forced to turn off its 60 photo radar cameras as the province gets set to introduce legislation to ban them across Ontario. Happy birthday, dear Marion. You can go ahead. Well, an incredible birthday celebration in Barrhaven today for Marion Anderson, who is 107 years old, but you would never know it. Sounds so much younger. She was talking to us as we take a final check on the weather tonight. Back out to Westport and Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Yes, it's been a lovely week here in Westport. We've got a chance to get to know the community, get to know the nature trails around here, and some beautiful lookup points just in time for the fall season. And the conditions have pretty much cleared up. It's not as muggy, not as misty as what we saw all afternoon, and that's the good news. There still might be a slight chance that we could see some showers later this evening moving through, but take a look at tomorrow morning. Mainly sunny skies for pretty much most of Eastern Ontario, 15 degrees to start. We're getting to a daytime high about 23 degrees. Still a slight chance that we could see some showers in the late afternoon. But then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, sunshine will dominate. So pretty much good conditions for the Rapid FC game for Friday. Saturday, Atletico also hitting the pitch at TD Place. And then Saturday and Sunday, what I'm really looking forward to is those temperatures of 25 degrees as we say goodbye to September, but not quite saying goodbye to summer. Patricia, I'll take it back to you in studio.
All right, thank you, Jackie. And time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. Kimberly Fowler is here, getting set for the 11:30.
Patricia, a busy day here that we were dealing with. We'll also look out for any updates on the Canada Post strike. We'll also have a story on how communicating with people with advanced dementia and how it can be difficult and cultural differences can compound those problems. CTV's Pauline Chan reports on a new study that shows people of color have higher rates of dementia and often face difficulty accessing care. And you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, thank you. And finally for us tonight, excitement is building for next year's FIFA World Cup. And now we're getting a look at the mascots for the tournament.
Good morning, Canada. Time to kick.
There you go. That's ours. There are 3 official FIFA World Cup 26 mascots, and that would be Maple the Moose donning Canada's home kit. Each mascot has a unique backstory and soccer position. created by FIFA. Maple is a street-style loving artist, music enthusiast, and dedicated goalkeeper. The U.S. mascot is Clutch, the bald eagle, and Zayu, the jaguar, is representing Mexico.
I can't decide which one I like best.
You gotta like the moose best.
We have the same slippers I saw at the beginning of that clip, though. But,
is that right?
but yeah, I think they're all super cute. But yeah,
same size or moose size?
We both have big feet, so yeah.
We're all hosting together, right? So we're all in this together. So I think you're able to support each of the mascots. My kids were really little when I went to the Olympics in Vancouver, and I brought back a lot of souvenirs because I was gone for quite a while. But the mascots was the one thing they were excited about.
They had like 4 or 5 different ones, right?
Yeah, they had some cool ones. Yeah,
but those are they're super cute.
Guys. It's fun for sure. Are you a big soccer fan?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be watching for sure. And I'll be watching rugby on Saturday.
Yeah. The women are in it. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Have a great evening, everyone. We'll see you later.